Hello and welcome to another Ancient Craft project update. I've got another casting update for you. If you saw the sword casting update, the Eutoxter sword, this is actually filmed at a similar time. But the two projects have been running together, and if you haven't seen that update, do check it out. This is another casting update, as I said, but it's not for a sword. It's for another long-bladed object, but this has a socket on it. It's actually a spearhead, but it's not from the late Bronze Age, it's from the Middle Bronze Age. And to give you some kind of background to it, this particular spearhead was found by a friend in Wales whilst they were metal detecting in an area near a beach, and they found this spearhead quite deep down on its side. It's likely that it must have eroded out of a paleo soil area or some peat before ending up in a sandy area, but fortunately was found before it could become too damaged by sand or by sea. So I suppose this is the time where I reveal the object, which I've been lucky enough to have on loan before it's going to a couple of the museums in Wales for further analysis. So here is the object, lovely spearhead, which you can see is in fantastic condition, very long spear. This particular type of spear is a basal looped spear. It comes from the Middle Bronze Age, as I said, from the Penard phase, dating probably to around 1250 to 1125 BC. Relatively short period, but quite a distinctive style. These basal loop spears continue throughout much of the Middle Bronze Age, but there are distinctive styles with this triangular midrib that sets them apart from others. If I hold it on its side, hopefully you can see that the blade is extremely thin. For me to cast replicas from this, like the sword, would be particularly tricky, so I would have to find a way of ensuring that the bronze, this is a bronze spearhead, manages to fill out these very, very thin areas of the blade. The spine, the loops and the actual socket, relatively straightforward. So I've got a couple of options to go for, and I think I may well have to either produce a clay mould or actually make a copper alloy mould for this, which is going to be quite a project. A copper alloy mould to accommodate this spear will be very, very long and very heavy, so a real challenge, but it is another object that's in fantastic condition. This is usually where I brandish a book in front of you to show the classification that it would fit into, but it is just a fantastic object to hold, hence why I'm wearing these gloves to protect it from oils from my hand, so I just can't really put it down. Fantastic object. Quite likely that it was intentionally deposited into the ground. Examples of spears like this have been found point down where they've been intentionally shoved into the ground, and this may well be another one of those ritual depositions. So I'll pop that down, and before I show you the book, show you the first copy that I've made. This is not bronze, it's actually pewter, to help me try and actually produce a mould using this. I don't really want to use the original for the type of mould I'm thinking about, but using a pewter example may well make the job a little bit easier and less stress about damaging the original. So not too bad, a little bit of refining here and there before it's close to the original. So where does this type of spearhead fit? I've already mentioned that Middle Bronze Age and the Penard phase. There are quite similar examples. Hopefully you can see that there are other examples that exist. This is from the book, The Early and Middle Bronze Age Spearheads of Britain by Richard Davis. So this is a triangular midrib style. So there's plenty of information for me to try and base this spearhead on, and hopefully I'll be successful with making a mould. There is an example of half a basal loop copper alloy mould, which is in the Western Park Museum, part of Sheffield Museum, which will be a good example to think about for how I'm going to make my mould. But as far as I'm aware, it'll be the first time, if I manage it successfully at some point in the near future, to cast a Middle Bronze Age spearhead like this in a copper alloy mould. Be the first time it's been done in Britain, possibly since the Bronze Age. I've not come across any other examples. There may have been attempts in Europe, but I'll have to find out. But that's the update on that for now. And I'm sure I'll provide further updates that you may see on social media if it's done successfully. But that's all for now.